we know about Ultra Prime is, at least for myself, you obviously can speak for yourself as well, Cubby. Maybe we'll be aligned here. But when they play early through Zhang to get the leads that he's been impressive with, love that Junhao is forcing a vertical jungle towards his Rumble, because right now we're seeing him try and help Zhang out to get that Rumble rolling early. Sasa does not have the exhaust. Does get over to level 3, but already used that in trade with Zhang. And he's going to use his flash power to get right on top of Sasa and get first blood. Junhao and Ultra Prime. Now, can Climber find a way to clean any of these kills up? Zhang does not have flash. He won't get slammed against the wall for the stun. The Climber should have more than enough damage, but he will fall just in time with Zhang. So Junhao comes out of the whole fray 2-0.
Yeah, I'm with the grub swap here because, frankly, I do think it's very beneficial for LGD to try and keep Rumble out of the grub fight. If he didn't have Gwen getting top, but frankly, LGD might be able to find something on the back half. Saber all turns very early. There's significant also still up for Ultra Prime, but I do think that LGD have some options here. Is they're going to drop the Weaver's Wall, try and cut him off on the treads in early. It's going to be a race to pen afterwards. But I expect to see the Rise lane really try to pressure the Talia.
This is big. LGD are finally moving around the map. They're going for this Dragon, trying to stop the soul stacking, but Shouts is going to immediately commit on XQW. He's a little far away from the rest of his team. Stuns Lair, there's flashes after him, and Junhao is able to pick up that first kill, and now all bets are off. Sasa flying at Zhang to try and find the trade onto the Rumble, but Junhao goes in with a huge Cyclone to knock out 2 members just like that, and LGD having to burn double flashes just to see Savior Climber survive, but I may have spoke too soon. The flash slow is enough for Savior to pick up a 4th kill. Ultra Prime just knocked this game 1 out of proportion.
Yeah, this feels like good game to me. And man, that was a real bummer setup from LGD. It felt like they had the control. They had the early Talia chunk on the Wukong that really opened up what looked to be a decent setup. But XQW getting engaged upon the way that he did, you got to be able to react to that Alistar combo. If he gets out of that, I think that there is a real world where LGD still has that favorable setup and fight, but no flash response to the Alistar combo, and, well, they're going to look for plays like this with objectives down.
Baya does not have summoners, but the Seismic Shove was misplaced with YCX's layered Rel stun.
Yeah.
He just walks on out.
That did not look good from XQW. A little bit of desync there from LGD, and, well, trying to reach in the back half of the play to find something before Ultra Prime resets. Comes up empty, and now we're still looking pretty grim here.
Yeah, you got the Scuttle traded back. Sousa does not have ult, so he actually gets burned down by Savior. TP's coming in as well. I don't know how much more they're able to grab. It's actually John's going to get caught here by YCX, and there is the flick back landing this time from XQW. That's a double kill over to Savior. The mainstay carry for so many of these LGD wins.
That should be Rift Herald for LGD. I take that and reset. Mistake there from Ultra Prime. I think playing for the crab, like kind of fiddling around the Rift Herald, not taking a clean reset after that play really set them behind. Because now, I mean, they're still split. They're giving LGD opportunities.
Cyclone down defensively. YCX should die here. Xiaosha does have Unbreakable Will this time. He's buying a lot of space in the front line. That Keeper's Verdict was not in time, and now the Rift Herald gets stolen away by Junhao. And we have ourselves a classic group Nirvana Rift Herald fight.
We made a couple positive plays to get back in.
Get back in, maybe overstating it a bit, as they are currently sitting about 6K gold down. They're able to trade some turrets here for this Octagon take that. Okay, I'm seeing actually WTP in here, but LGD, they're a little bit too late to the party. They don't have Keeper's Verdict to even boot anybody out, so XQW TPs to watch the Octagon fall.
If they stay in that control ward, a lot of control for them. You can see just how much LGD have to see given their backer behind.
They kept YCX. Just trying to get a spare ward, sir, into the pit. May I please? No, you may not.
A very
now it's Herald dropped in mid lane. Yeah, I mean, this
very
is just, I will say, Ultra Prime, there's some serious conviction behind this game plan. And they are, you know, outside of maybe this Herald. Oh, it got through the wall! Good try there, XQW. I was about to clown them for one small thing, and even then, Ultra Prime can't do wrong.
Yeah, I mean, they were doing the thing that, you know, your parents always tell you to never do at the start of, like, you hopping behind the car, and that is, I can't fit in that parking space, you know?
Oh boy. I don't think Climber fits into any equation of this Dragon take. Oh my gosh, John Flat over the wall to kill him off. Piercing Arrow actually hits that thing down to 100, but they didn't even need their jungler to secure Infernal Soul. Junhao going after the backline. Good flash away to XQW Savior. Junhao goes a little bit too far forward and gives over a pretty critical shutdown.
Yeah, we bit for fun out of the skates there from Junhao, but hey, Infernal Soul secured, Ultra Prime, no signs of slowing down this game, and man, they've given Sivir the happiest game to scale that she can find, almost at an Infinity Edge now, and we'll see what Baia can get done afterwards. As I still feel like Ultra Prime, like that's a shutdown you probably should have given over, but is that going to change this game? No, it really feels like this game is decided. And LGD just, man, like, I don't think that the lead they lost in the top side of the jungle really warranted a game as passive as this one. So definitely something to revisit and look at if you're LGD.
Might get to revisit it pretty soon here, the way
only they had
this flank is coming here for Ultra Prime. On the hunt pop.
Goodbye
XQW going to be the one singled out, and see ya later.
Yeah.
One sent back towards the fountain.
Well, we'll see if they can secure this bounty. But
Junhao definitely can. Yeah, I was going to say, Junhao, if he's diving out a pit behind Infernal Soul, he's going to chase down Savior and Climber, try and take a mid-tier 1 turn. Good call on the TP. Here comes Zhang off to the side. Does have the equalizer. Lays out the lava carpet, so Climber cannot save his AD carry. And Climber has only rescue is this blast cone he's going to take out of his own jungle. Ultra Primer kind of just counting the seconds until Baron starts. And luckily there's only about 30 more counts for that one.
yeah, I'm counting the seconds. XQW bot. Curious how aggressively they want to play this, maybe to pull his TP. I do see Junhao starting the Baron.
Feels like Ultra Prime are very much so respecting the fact that Climber can just boot a really critical carry out of the fight, or not Junhao out of the pit if he's able to get up here for this Baron take. While I'm talking about all these hypotheticals, the reality is
this game,
the Baron goes down uncontested, and they still want to fight after that. Zhao with the ring will goes back up. Good crash out the backhand from YCX, but where's the damage, bro? LGD's got none of it. All they've got is perpetual gray screens. 4 more kills, and the Realm Warp is going to force Savior away from his base, and they're going to usher their first Baron wave, not just to an inhibitor turret, but all the way for a Nexus explosion. And Ultra Prime's most dominating win, maybe of the whole split.
I mean, LGD took a comp that we felt like had to play a little bit faster early. They didn't contest the grubs, they didn't contest the first 2 dragons, and man, things just really fell apart from there. This was not an inspiring performance from LGD, and on the flip side, Ultra Prime, hey, they got a lead with Junhao, got a lead on Zhang, and we talked about this top side really performing better than where we felt like
this Trundle.
Yeah, it's got to be a death ball for Ultra Prime. this is a super low-range composition hopping in. And if they take
this dragon off the board early, he is kind of clearing down towards it. We'll have to see, because we know that grubs in 3 minutes is just such a big event that everyone's going to come pulling up to.
No, I 100% with you. Definitely expect grubs to be contested. We could see a mid-play here. Both junglers hanging around.
Primer's going to cover nicely. No Subjugate, no Glacial Prison, no ultimates to speak of in general. And the stun's going to land on a Junhao, and Saber's not healthy enough to look for the trade. Clever's going to flash after him. The knockup lands, and down goes Saber. They might look to double dip here. On the bot side, we have our own fight breaking out as Savior's going to be able to trade his support back out, but Baia, should he have enough damage here? They're waiting on cooldowns. The dash, the double taps, yes! Baia answers back for Ultra Prime, 2-0 out of lane.
2 kills for the Lucian, big, but that winning mid-jungle 2v2 we talked about for Ultra Prime, they didn't have level 6 yet, no subjugate. All right, rotation's coming in. Yeah, Baia's walking up, Nautilus TPing in with the Spellbook TP that we talked about. Now LGD, they got to catch this wave, but after this, they should be able to make a play.
All right, Baia looking aggressively, but he walks over the Glacial Prison, he immediately cleanses with the Fate Unsealed, hits onto 2 from XQW, and Baia is absolutely cooked, punished for his over-aggression.
Beautiful setup by LGD as XQW, this Yone, the second most banned champion against LGD. We're seeing why in this game. Great setup by XQW for that fight with Climber. Baia dashing into that Fate Sealed. And with him going down, that means that those grubs that you were really setting up as being so important, so you're going to go LGD's way, as they're looking for a little bit more.
Continue to find these aggressive trades, but into the Trundle with that Subjugate ticking. YCX walked a bit too far. The Culling comes down. They're dropping the depth charge on XQW as well. He burns the flash, but the Grub Pit is where their attention must be turned, and it's going to be 3 secured by Climber. We'll see if this is a one-way trip, though. No return airfare. Does dash over the walls. Could actually get Junhao to flash after him. I assume they're going to give this kill on over, yep, to Junhao to try and get this Trundle back accelerated.
Okay. Still 3 grubs taken by LGD. I think that's going to be okay. Ollie player early on, too. Like, he was playing a lot of melees. He's put 1 going back there as well.
Climber. Good try with the blast cone, but that is
good. Grubs, they have leads in both side lanes. I mean, how much can you get done here if you're LGD?
And it just further
Ghost popped.
Punishes you. Okay, we're going after Saber. Oh, we're not gonna look where that first failure ultimate went. There's the hijacked one. Used to be able to stun up, but he gets a heal as well. Saber buying a lot of time, and now Climber and YCX have to flash away from the might of the turret. And here comes Bai off to the flank. YCX is good as dead. Bai's got more than enough damage. Execute W. Fate sealed to get away, but another dredge line's gonna sink through for Xiaosha, and Ultra Prime have a bit of an answer back here, starting to really stack up some kills.
Slayer, that's
well. LGD, again, you know, with a nice bounce back early game, but they've got some questions to answer pretty quickly. We might see it on this top side as a TP and knockup comes on to Junhao. The subjugate, we talked about the HP, there wasn't enough to cover for that amount of damage. And here comes the Glacial Prison from Climber layered onto Xiaosha, and Sabers has to watch his support drop as LGD calling all 5 members to win themselves a critical skirmish.
Good pickup. Rift not up yet. Trying
Saber!
to snipe Rom.
Oh, one auto, he gets it with the burn. Saber able to find 1, but he went after the support with all 4 members. LGD around the Fate Sealed is going to find its first kill. And with the stuns layering, Zhang is also going to drop. Red, White don't fight, and Savior just showed you why.
I mean, that wasn't worth. The Bork Yone doing some serious pick up on that one.
It's a classic. If I had a nickel for
very good right now. Their solo lanes are winning. They have 3 grubs. They can win the game a lot harder for them.
Ultra Primer getting cheeky here. YCX walking away. Very unfriendly brush, but again, it's the Braum that's able to start off this engage. And Junhao actually had to flash away from his team to try and survive, but he eats an ultimate to the face and gives another kill over to Savior. Another positive trade for LGD, support for jungler.
Yeah, that's a game where Braum's very happy. And I think that we've seen the scoreline for YCX, you know, not be the prettiest, and that bot side was pretty poor, but still the value for Braum, like on paper, seems high, and definitely with what we're seeing in the fight so far, it's been good.
And what we haven't really touched on because he hasn't been on our screens very much.
Yep.
Sasa is 2-0-1. Trinity Force gone completely uncontested as Saber is going to whip out on the hijack Fate Sealed. With the Soul Unbound, XQW has to go back in. Y6 is luckily there to make sure he doesn't get sold out. Still need to make sure there aren't really any traditional fights in this game because they can just 1-3-1. And who right now is ever not just matching but punishing this York and Yone in the side lanes? Hold on though. We have a nice little Freljord ultimate combo, gets multiple knockups. John goes after Saber's able to back off the Aphelios, and we're going to test how tanky this Scion is. And the answer is going to be not tanky enough for Ultra Prime. Jean going to go down first here. There's no real way to look for a turn unless Xiaosha is able to get a pretty good depth charge down or a dredge line. Really sacrifice the bait, and LGD are going to gobble up all the spoils of war on this top side, being the Herald. We'll see if Junhao wants to start a fight.
Still have hijacked up if they want to fish around for a Saber ultimate. LGD is a little bit low, so I think Ultra Prime, they're going to think about playing this. The Silas ult options, though, I don't think that he's going to be able to grab the Glacial Fissure or Glacial Prison yet.
You don't have grubs. All right.
Yep. Okay.
He's going to exclude himself from the pack.
Trap in the brush, and okay, he's going to spring it.
Nice. He's going to cross back the Eternal Plane. He created for himself the first time. And the goal still remains unfinished, which is going after this turret, and that's a missed hijack Glacial Prison there from Saber. And well, it's actually LGD that get the first turret throughout all of that. It's
and it's open up. I mean, Sasa's no TP. So they're playing away from the Otacon with the Yone and him being able to threaten a TP here. And seems to be a decent setup for LGD. Did see a blue trinket used by Baya. So the Otacon is spotted and will be stopped. But now, Ultra Prime spending a lot of time up here. Going to lose control of mid and lose control of that Dragon Pit.
An eloquent use of resources here from LGD. Moving around their pieces at the third Drake of the game, the first Ocean Drake. What a bounce back for LGD. I'm going out on a limb saying there was some very momentum-based speeches coming in that locker room after game 1, but Now they're going to have to put their money where their mouth is at the Octagon fight. They really could just decide this game. They're going to TP on in the Yone. XQW off to the side. Glacial Prison can get the stuns. They're layering on the Junhao. He doesn't even get the Otacon. He goes down first. John flakes into the background. He is going to be able to get a 1v1 with Savior, but he doesn't even win that right now. Red, white, don't fight. Get away from the Aphelios. He doesn't care about your health bar. 3 kills for none. LGD running away with this second game.
Yeah, I think that's game right there, Slayer, as pretty much every major monster objective has been secured in favor of LGD, and it's just been Climber and XQW able to set the pace a lot better than what has been available for Ultra Prime, where it felt like there was a comp where they kind of have to throw themselves in at LGD and see what happens, and LGD, they're very happy
whatsoever. In that. This split is just going to be so deadly, suffocating, what we say. Top tier 1 traded for... a whole lot of gold on the backswing.
And Bai is the only one that like is fed and is ahead, and even that looks good right now. As okay, TP coming in. That's Saber.
Zhang is going to cut off the escape angle using his health bar as a resource, but it's actually Southside that's going in for the flank. But Saber, holy moly, what a hijack! Fate unsealed, and now look at the pandemonium. But the health bars for LGD are just too tanky right now, and they can't get Baya in a position to capitalize on any of these blinking health bars. XQW will finally drop a Climber, able to throw the boar at the rest of Ultra Prime forward, and without Baya, look at the minions and Maiden take care of business.
Well, we thought it would kind of questioning whether it would be enough damage to take down the Scion and Trundle early on. It's become there is definitely not enough damage to deal with this Yorick, as Sasa making them feel the pain of the Gravedigger, and well, looks like they're going to be sending Ultra Prime at least to a game 3 here.
Doing it in style with one of the quickest games, the LPL.
God.
Maybe seeing at the very end of split 3, it's getting a little bit dicey towards the end, but I think... Yep, Sasa's going to have it. Pre-25 minutes, LGD with an answer back.
Well, one of those can be really deadly in fights. So between that and the Vi, expecting to see Baya get attacked.
This is going to be a very fun game.
It is Saber being shoved in pretty aggressively. Aurora, of course, as you highlighted, Slayer. Early laning prowess is very real for the Aurora. As Ultra Prime going to... probably struggle to find ways to deal with that. Saber,
oh my God, Saber is dead! Just like that, the power of Aurora. Yeah, LGD that already have 1 grub secured. Sasa going to try and play tank on the front line as we just see projectiles traded. Second grub going to go down here. We'll see if Ultra Prime want to fight for it, but the cease and desist is coming across. Sasa Taker was going to get cleansed by Savior. Sasa on top of a very low HP. Southside, but the Tempered Fate's going to stall everything out. 4 XQW to come through the between worlds off to the side. Sasa buying so much time with his health bar means the rest of LGD can just knock down these health bars as the 80 carries go blow for blow, but it's a great pullback on the damage from Baya, who is untouched through all of this and dealing out damage. Ace out of nowhere to Ultra Prime.
I mean, Saber had a really...
started the grub pull. I don't know why XQW is one of the latest members to that fight with all the power he had. But it's now evaporated. He is back down gold, and well, LGD are going to try and get themselves into the first dragon of the game. And Junhao was just, seeking a potential steal angle, but that's first Drake down at 10 minutes. It's not a big game to make sure your Kalista has better priorities to go after. As both junglers are making maybe some dives a priority. Hello, flash cease and desist. Goodbye, Baya. Just like that. Combo, even if there was a jungler in the wings.
Well done. We got Savior out. Means easy Drake from there.
Conversations, but with this Herald going down, yep, those are actually going to be secured by LGD.
Okay. Still, this game feels close, and I honestly good to see. I think some of our teams making decent decisions here. As the decision tree has been nice. John goes TP in, but cannot save them in outer
execution. Savior, the first one up there. John was trying to capitalize, but he actually has to flash out because West Ultra Prime didn't follow with him. They're instead going to try and punish Sasa for the TP, but that is a very tanky.
That had success at the LDL level, winning that championship with pretty much this squad. Outside of the folks that were called up early. I think that for me, like, success is still defined by that for all these teams.
Oh, there's your boy.
Oh boy.
There he goes.
that was a hell. They're really forcing LGD to come to them. Now, can they get out of this scenario? Zhang's going to be chunked. TP coming in. They had to pull off the dragon.
Yeah, they pull off the dragon. They are going to TP in their 5th member. Sasa is going to start testing the limits of his health bar, but he eats a pretty critical charm. He poked down low, but the Temper Fate's going to hit onto 2. XQW goes in the middle of the Ultra Prime, then comes back out. Fate's calling to save 1 member. They're able to get Xiaoxia out, but as soon as he goes out, he falls back down, and Sasa's health bar is too much for Ultra Prime to bear right now. Baya deleted by XQW, who finally gets to show what he is made of after that early lead. And it's the Blast Cone to save Junhao, but it's LGD that wrestle back control of Game 3.
I mean, Sasa just tanked up the entire team, was able to live through that too, and LGD immediately have ripped their way towards the Otacon to drop the dragon. So, yeah, I mean, that was an interesting one, because I thought the start of the fight, Ultra Prime sticking it to the dragon and with Zhang was actually a good call, but on the flip side, I'm not really sure about that, because the Ambessa got really low, and the conditions that LGD had when they did decide to TP in were very good.
This is bar gameplay right here, YCX. Yeah, I'm just going to annoy the jungler on his dragon take. Oh, you're TPing Zhang in? Magical Journey, but this time Junhao is actually able to follow with the puppers over the wall. They have to actually eat the stun, and that means that Junhao can keep chasing with that Conqueror. YCX does end up falling for disturbing Junhao on his dragon clear.
The combo still taken by LGD. One Jung's going to wrap this one up this time around. So Zhang will score the dragon. And Ultra Prime end up getting something on the back half, but still like where LGD's at in this one, and kind of curious to see if we get a second look at that big fight, because man, Saucer just tanked up everything for days.
Cease and desist available. The Aurora joins. A lot of dashes to cut down Baya, who is up there, and they
Good
know
catch.
it's not being taken. Yeah, and that means that they're not going to walk into any of these.
Ooh, this is a hell of a flank.
Brush.
This is a hell of a flank.
Two-pointed strike from behind. Here comes Sasa for the first prong. Second prong over the wall is going to be Climber. And hello, Baya. Eat this ultimate to the noggin. Down goes Salsa already. And there's no way for Ultra Prime to ever find a way to compete with that level of flank from LGD. 3 kills in an instant, and they don't even need to chase down Zhang because they know that, one, Sasa's going to take Junhao out. Hell, they may not even go for a Baron. They're just going to go for the kills in the base here now as they knock down Zhang, and they're going to take the whole house with them.
Okay, they're going to pull off after the inner turret, go find the Baron. What a great setup by LGD. The cat and mouse game around the Baron was kind of fun. LGD, of course, the redemption was used to spot the Baron, but LGD, after that, they used the time to sneak Climber in, get him around the enemy team, and pull off a flank that really jailed Ultra Prime to take a fight that they did not want. It was on LGD's terms, and it showed in the result.
Podium finish, the medal around, the proverbial neck for LGD of winning a fight like that. Well, that one fight really leveling the state of this game now, with Sasa just so unmovable wherever lane he goes with his Baron. Going to be a threat for an inhibitor turret whenever. Saber able to rescue 1 turret back at the top side, but he's going to immediately have to TP back down. The gold is coming in droves for LGD, thanks to some of these turrets.
Ignoring that Drake, just trying to take as many turrets as they can. You can take the Drake on the exit if they so choose, which, yeah, it's going to be a pretty pricey exit.
Here's the nice
Sasa, yeah, Sasa knocked down the middle inhibitor turret, and the rest of LGD waiting to say siege to the bottom inhibitor turret.
Trying to slowly stretch out the fabric that is Ultra Prime's defense right now until seams start busting, turrets start falling. Hard spot to be in, but Zhang's trying to break. He gets a public execution onto XQW, but he has the Zhonya's this time. He's just going to bark off that ultimate and drop the worlds on top of Ultra Prime's heads. There's a couple of rockets here from Savior. They're able to get another kill. XQW going a bit too far forward, though. Able to die over to Baya, who's able to trade his flash well, but LGD still healthy enough to start taking inhibitors after a murky fight.
Honestly, pretty amazed at the value that the tank Udyr got in that fight. The empowered Ahri drop was slowing everyone up. Opened up that angle for XQW to look for the end. Couldn't find it, but LGD still looking for the game.
Yeah, I mean, look at Sasa right now. He's taking 2 Nexus turret shots, all the attention of the 3 Ultra Prime members. And that lets Savior just step up and once again turn into a makeshift Gatling gun and belt health bars with ease. Baya's gonna fall next year. He can't dance around this Udyr as Sasa picks himself up a double kill. The Sasa Masterclass has earned LGD the comeback in our series, a win, the final one of Group Nirvana as they'll head into the play-in stage on a W.
And that Udyr from Sasa, this is play off your pop blossoms, play off your CS and assists. Any single target kills you get can be really nice to put on the right people, but got to be careful about team fighting FPX early on. So, well, it's something. Can Joshi survive this? Because we're attempting it.
Oh, some slows. Elk getting some autos down. On is taking up the turret and flashed out just at the last moment of an invade, but because he, alongside Shadow, will soon have access to those game-warping ultimates. I might see them make a debut before any results come around here, as Sheer does have the lava carpet, and Bin is completely caught out with no flash. Bin is just dead here.
They're going to give it over to JJ, but pretty much a solo. I mean, that's going to be Dragon going over to BLG, but still getting that economy out of the Gwen. Let's see what Sheer can do. It did say it's...
Billy Gaming doing a pretty good job gaining some resources despite Bin's mess up.
Well, I mean, at times that's just the...
Oh my god, the Q into Dwayne to stun him into the cease and desist. Shadow is styling on his former team right now.
Absolutely.
Awesome dodge by a nice little magical journey there out of Dwayne, but Elk is transcended and he's flashed right over the only ability that stops him from solo killing.
As Joshi falls and... Oh boy, not again.
They're using the minions. Remember, the turret doesn't ramp up on the minions. This is just bullying from On and L.
And Joshi has rotated. It looks like that Dragon is not going to be on the menu for FPX. Instead, trying to get a piece of it.
It does have exhaust. I think that plays a huge role depending on who he's able to drop.
I think he's dead.
It's also 4 versus 1. Yeah, I feel like he's just as good as dead. There is the lava carpet and the knockups all landing. But JJ takes a good lick of damage, and that's going to TP in here. But a flash magical journey saves all. JJ escapes with his life.
Those are the hands from JJ. Great reaction there to get out of the queue from Knight. They've rotated back around too. Let's see if we can find Knight.
Oh, Chains of Corruption. Knight caught napping. And he is going to go down to the flame spinner from Sheer. Tempered Fate also locks On up and forces him to turn forward the Pop Blossom, but the heal is not enough. JJ survives. Dway diffing that play from BLG.
This is a great play and call from FPX that was for sure disrespected by BLG. The rotation around so on point. There's
Elk immediately cleanses the Timber stun. I don't even think they really even need a Shadow. I think Elk just wins that alone, but good bait nonetheless.
That's a mistake there from Carrot. You got to be able to sniff that one out. But man, BLG can kind of go in one by one.
So we'll have to track how well Elk can use that gold advantage later, because now it's Sheer's turn to get dove, but diving means there's a turret there, and, well, Shadow actually is here for the structure instead. He's actually late there, though, to first brick. JJ's able to get the topside one, so no feats of strength. That is not wrapped up just yet.
Pete's still up as we do bust into the mid game. I do want to say I kind of hit on the scaling of BLG a little bit. I like the world that we're in with Elk and Bin. The only concern is, you know, are you always going to be able to auto attack?
JJ is caught On out as his teammate was resetting, and they guessed right on the clone. JJ's impact instantly felt so far in this game 1.
I think JJ was tracking the red buff ticks. You can see that through, you know, when you get a damage tick, you like get the shadow on a stunned person. So I think he used that to track On. And On caught out, no Pop Blossom available, and a Rift Herald likely to fall in favor of FPX. So the good plays continue.
Here's a problem spot for BLG is they overforce in spots. They're just disrespecting their opponents. His 2 flashes immediately gets that Yunar picked off. The Tempered Fate also is going to grab Shadow, and Tibbers wants to lay his paws in on the BLG jungler. No Vault Breaker, it's just a stun. And it's more and more stumbles and trips into this mid game for BLG.
That 0-4 Joshi, he's back in the game. His brother took control. And
who's boosted now?
Yeah, and in terms of BLG, I just think that we're taking some real fights and decisions. Is Knight going to try again?
Yeah, you want to see another one? Here's a Pop Blossom. Bin teleports in. They still have their turret up, which is actually really huge. JJ, this time the Magical Journey cannot save you from the might of the turret. Bin not going to look for more with that needle work, but Billy have saved their mid-tier 1 turret at the very least and taken a shutdown off the board as well.
They have. We'll see what happens before the Dragon here, as it is a sole point for BLG, but a couple fights in a row where they've opted in the fights down numbers, Slayer. Thought they had enough strength to win it regardless, but the execution has just been better for FPX. Here.
Oh, sure, all right. 10th game of Rumble, you know he's comfortable testing the limits of his damage. And Knight, we're going to try and forget that one on your MVP campaign, but they actually keep rolling nonetheless. BLG have completely cut Jue out, and a good layering of CC means that they're able to trade their mid laner out.
Well, Knight has TP when he spawns, so you've got to imagine this Dragon is advantage BLG. FPX going to have to make up a lot of ground.
This is so important with the Hex Tech Soul. So powerful, whichever team's able to grab control of it. Shadow going to start that one up. Knight up in mere seconds. He'll have a TP angle towards the bottom side of this pit, so he doesn't even have to TP away from his team. They can hold this front line. Zon is actually going to respect flash away from JJ. Sun comes across. JJ, do you have a steal in you? Yes, he doesn't need to steal it because he just killed off Shadow. There's the Dragon secured. Bin's going to try and kite back towards Elk, but here comes the Tempered Fate. Not going to hit on either member, so Yadar has to flash over the wall and burn that cleanse as the might of FPX's front-loaded damage rears its ugly fangs.
Yeah, and you know, we're seeing fights get a little bit weird here. I don't think that Elk is having the best setups from his team. It's hard for Elk to play these fights out because the Pop Blossom's desync, Shadow's going down early, and a lot of the other tools around him, it's just damage. Speaking of damage, here, goodbye. That's some revenge for Knight. Trades out,
So Otacon isn't a freebie for BLG, but they kind of feel like it is. That Tempered Fate is a vision one. Yeah, so now that kind of fight-altering ultimate's off the board here for FPX. I don't think they can really force their way in here. JJ's still pretty hurt, but they're going to look for the engage on to Care this time. Elm trying to set himself up with the Transcendence, but the Between Worlds with Bin's damage is more than enough to take JJ down. Here comes the Lava Carbon, really well positioned. There's no jungler left, and the Otacon has completely reset, and that throws a huge wrench in any Otacon placement of their own, and they're going to reap all the rewards here. Otacon seem to go down in mere seconds, and what's the worst thing? You trade Dragons 2-2?
This is fine if you're BLG. I mean, Otacon is going to be a lot of power in terms of levels, which I think they really need on their side. Just really strong with levels advantage too. And yeah, you're getting an advantage until you're giving up a Hex Tech Soul that's permanent. Well, if they get a big enough advantage, then all of a sudden Hex Tech Soul becomes your advantage potentially. So until that first one will hide. But that looks to be the target from Jauchi. And meanwhile, Shadow to really threaten that mid-outer. Here we go.
Right, Edge of Night already taken down. Tempered Fate, though, is going to stall Jauchi's execution. Pop Blossom going to hold JJ's clone at bay as Ben wins his 1v1 with Sheer off to the side. But Kara is able to drop Shadow off. Both jugglers again trade out very early in the fight. Clutch Pop Blossom from on. There's no way for Elk to get in. He just can't get reliable.
On BLG. I want to see if
Care has
goes.
Yeah, I want to see Care jump forward with this Timbers. Now is the Bard with the Spellbook Smite. Gets the Dragon, but JJ goes way too far forward with the Hex Gate. Tempered Fate bails him out. The Bard diff really starting to manifest a lot in this game for Jue.
I mean, that was massive, because that's almost a scenario where it's a win for BLG.
So for now, FPX will get control towards that Baron, but how much value can you get out of some of those ults you've already burned as JJ gets caught by a big Pop Blossom and on. Make sure that he trades his life with the junglers. Win for BLG now. They have a much superior smite left up on the board, and they're going to try and take control of the Bear Pit or look for more as Care sends Shadow on a long ride, but it's one back towards the fountain. Another quick trade, 1-for-1.
I mean, they traded up, I guess, the second time as junglers and supports are both down. Now Ben pressing R.
It'll work, but he gets Timbers dropped, even though he tries to stasis it with the Gwen passive. The Zanyas forces out the E from Sheer. He's able to get that first kill. Jauchi, though, is down as Knight gets just enough damage out, and Elk is going to take the turret up through the stasis and help Knight knock down FPX by, again,
coming in from Ben. They're going to probably just have to slam the Rumble TP now, but is it too late?
Looks like it's too late. Jue has no hero smite to help out, and JJ Cyclone just used defensively. They do catch on off to the side, but Elk is able to put some serious damage down. Karen goes into the stasis. Shadow is out. Sheer flashes after him, and Jauchi's able to grab Elk and knock him down. Ben saves the fight for the second by trading out Sheer, but JJ and Jue are going after him. No stun lands. Ben trying to kite back using the scissors to the best of his advantages. The soul lanes of BLG. They have to hold up tall, and Knight slams the golden left hand down on the head of FPX. No, sir. No fight win for you. Knight triple kill.
What is it? Overchase, is it not? Who knows? Regardless, Knight with the flash made it happen.
Have that impact, like an MVP, the most valuable player on your team. Now, as we talk about, he gets caught by the Tempered Fate, but all looks for an immediate turn with a 3-man Pop Blossom. Knockem's still going to come on tonight. JJ has the GA, so he will come back up, but Elk is right in front of him. He needs to get these autos down. JJ can use the Trickster and the Cyclone to get out. Bin's needle work, not enough. The heal comes through. Elk's trying to push the Transcendence to the maximum form, and it'll help get just enough damage through to drop JJ and Dway. And with Shadow reviving himself, Billy may finally claim this Baron after 15 minutes.
I thought that opener to the fight was so good for FPX, and it was, but once the ults were down, they don't have the DPS to keep up with the Gwen or the Yunara. They're online. BLG have scaled.
Chachi, no! Doesn't get it blind. Bin might try.
Is there with stuns or a Tibber. Is BLG and is Elk able to play as far up as they did?
Big of a combo into 2 members, and just like that, bye-bye turn.
Now, we didn't mention Aurora.
He highlighted from this draft, even 3 picks in. BLG are damage rich. Are they able to siege well? Shadow flashes away from the Timbers really well, so he doesn't get popped. As Knight dropped in between worlds. JJ forced out of the fight, and Care once again the victim to start things off for BLG, and Elk trying to really max the transcendence of his Yunara as best as possible. BLG have to be a bit wary though, taking their siege towards the Nexus turrets. They have other avenues to play for, and they'll instead knock 2 inhibitors off the board and try to get themselves some Hextech Soul to BLG for the proverbial nail in the coffin. Yep.
Yeah, that's game. BLG's got this one. This was a
15 seconds away from leaving the BLG game time Goldilocks zone. Just keep that in mind, everybody.
Oh god. You know, no wonder I forgot about that one. It almost feels like a fake stat, even if it's very real. But yeah, BLG, they have 2 Butchering Hits at their disposal, so we'll see if they can spread them out or use them. All right, there's one. They know.
All right, this time Knight's able to sidestep out of the Tempered Fate, so there goes that big game plan, and Pop Blossom is through on to 2, and Knight gets onto the back line to drop all of that damage. GA's popped, but Knight is taking heads, not names, grabs himself a double kill just like that, and no Baron needed, just massive loads of damage. Billy Gaming gonna take a 1-0 lead in 42 minutes. For the first time in what feels like forever, BLG are winning a post 40-minute game.
Yeah, I mean, BLG, they scaled in this one. You have Gwen, you have Aurora, you have Yunara, and we saw what they were able to do. And that damage over the top, that could be nice, but I'm expecting to see a focus around mid lane, because if you can set that Orianna behind early, give Talia a push, your ability to play with the Xin Zhao from there.
By the way, but On's actually here, and remember, Shadow as well is taking this red buff. Care and JJ weren't expecting this kind of a rat coming through so early. When comes Lightning connects, Care is going to flash, but the red buff is going to get the kill.
So some official business to take care of is BLG trying to make sure that they secure that 2nd seed in our LPL playoffs. And, well, the business I'm looking at is still in that mid lane where Knight, after, I would say, intervention mid.
Hold on, away, try to punish On. Unbreakable Shield, not going to hold him long enough. On a pickboard, feels pretty confident taking this, and FPX, see how upset they are about it.
Stronger, yeah, we'll see what they can do.
Dragon not started up too quickly. JJ's going to flash on top of On. Sets up the double headbutt pulverize with a flash out of the shockwave. Is going to keep Shadow alive. On very low, but full support seem happy to try and trade themselves out. Elk does have to flash forward to secure the first kill. Puts him in a pretty uncomfortable position. The flick back not going to land because Chachi flashes over it. Shadow going to look for the trade very desperately. Does use the move, becomes Lightning, able to get the kill and the heal. But Knight is out of mana, and JJ's got enough behind his spear to find that kill. Knight trying to use the complete usage of all of his mana to pick up this last kill, and he will get it with the flick back and the flash over the wall. Knight gets himself out. It's only on to
those grubs locked down. Well, JJ, yep.
Oh, they're diving Elk on. Your AD carry's gonna need some help pretty quickly here. Trying to get back to the turret, still gets stunned. Topo strikes back, but there's the all-out, really well positioned from Sheer. Gets Elk away from his turret. Knight TP's back in, Seismic shoved down. Shield goes up for JJ. Spite stun's gonna come across, but FPX have numbers here. BLG have no way back in to avenge their AD carry. I just think that JJ has found decent angles. You're starting to see maybe in this game more that he's making more proactive calls. There's no pretty big ultimates used there. Everybody a little bit camera shy.
Don't mind BLG looking for that finish. Got to reset though on.
I mean, this one before On caught out, but Knight that has to actually pay the Pied Piper. Joy delivers the Shockwave. Knight flashing over the wall, but Jachi's going to chase him down. 2 levels down, but still feels like he has enough damage. Picks up the double kill, but look at Bin with Dominus Pop. Jotji already flashed over the wall to get in, and Bin's going to make sure to expedite his shipping right back towards the fountain, but Jotji's going to make it a triple kill before he goes down.
And we haven't really seen that yet.
Maybe some items coming through here will make a bit of a difference. Elk does get the Essence Reaver in, albeit a bit late here on this Lucian. Seraph's on tap here for Knight as we have our first pretty big Grand Starfall coming down to try and cover Dwayne. He does pop the Unbreakable Will. But Shadow and On are able to create enough space here. It feels like for Knight and Elk, it has to be a pretty big Shockwave, but Shadow drops the Crescent Guard and executes JJ. Jotji over the wall still feels confident because the Shockwave is going to find and clip Knight, who goes down first. Elk can't seem to find a way in, and Jotji.
Elk he took a lot of damage right there. That is pretty close proc, hit pretty hard.
JJ wasn't expecting Knight to flick him back, maybe, and Elk's going to dash forward to try and find the kill, but he hits a Shockwave and a Valkyrie right to the head. Jotji again, just pushing out way too much damage for BLG to ever find an answer for. You can see how much it just hinders all of their forward plays. They can't get past this Titan of a Corki.
Honestly, kind of a tough look from Elk. Didn't have the culling, and now
On, I mean, what are we doing there? Grand Starfall is back up for JJ. They're going to get here just in time for a 50-50 to come across. He does not yoink it. Shadow wins that one. The younger hands able to handle the spike key there. JJ can eat the stun, and here comes that Dominus up Bin, and that's enough to force Jotji back out of the fight. Bin making the difference, and Knight swinging on in to try and clean up some of these other kills. Because he's got Care sectioned off in a 1v1. The Shockwave going to find its mark, slow down, but he has to flash over. A whip becomes lightning. Bin.
You would be powered down in terms of advantage. That and the Pantheon didn't find the setup, but eventually set up mid. Elk able to skate out of this one, though. Shui has flash. Yep.
Yeah, and he's just going to make sure to commit it. Elk does flash as well, but they still are able to layer that second stun, and now it's JJ getting a 2-for-1 special on.
And the gold allocation for FPX, I know the gold's pretty close on the scoreboard, but look at who has the gold on FPX. It's so much better.
Oh no. Jotji. Flash with the exhaust on, gets the Winter's Bite stack. Shadow's going to find that kill. 2.8k advantage in the 80 carries. Doesn't matter when he gets run down by Shadow and On. Oh, it just gets worse and worse, Cubby. They lost JJ as well. Dway should be fine here, but they're going to lose a tier 1 turret on the top side. It's just that undisciplined stench exuding from FPX.
Yeah, that was a good play by BLG. Again, if FPX is disconnected, I think BLG can get away with that. And maybe more here. Okay, never mind. That wall looked a little bit goofy.
2. It's all good. They find the kills, and now we'll see if they can funnel some gold into Elk. Because find BLG, like the next big thing to come back. We're up gold overall. It's a pretty even game, but again, the gold allocation is so much better for FPX here. Elk needs gold. He has to catch back up. Being at an item and a half is just not enough. Looking into the Corki, who with the steel caps and a fall of Miramana is really pumping through the Lucian.
I thought Dre had drivers, elite driver in his bag as well. Yeah, right now, BLG, despite being in front of gold, they still are really relying. I think JJ using Grand Starfall just slows FPX down so much. Yeah, I mean, Prairie
real
Rock,
angle there.
Jotji was the angle. Now JJ, look, I mean, this is what Pantheon does when he doesn't have a flanking ultimate. He walks up and gets deleted. Both top laner's been TP in here, but FPX, you've got no real rhyme or reason to be sticking around here unless you see a really good fight angle. Because you're down a smite and you're down a key engage tool. So much of the brunt going to be put on Dway to find a unique angle in here as BLG start to melt the Otacon, but Shadow wants the fight. He's going to flash in, gets headbutted out, but the Weaver's Wall cuts Care off for the rest of his team, and the rest of FPX are put into the grinder. Sure, Sheer gets one back, but Elk's flashing after him for the Winter Bite stacks. It's going to make sure the top laner for FPX falls as well. There's the fight BLG were looking for, and here's their commanding lead.
Great turn from Shadow.
This team, immediately inserting himself in calls and willing to try and lead a team full of such notable names, and I think that really showed up in that Octagon fight once again.
And that's like the good and the bad of BLG, right? Is that you can, like, these guys are soul. I mean, yet again, I think that's just game. You cannot overcome Hextech Soul in these games as FPX, so they got to get in here and steal, but they're too late.
Wait, do you have another hero smite in you? No, he doesn't even have it on tap. Instead, he's going to serve a shockwave and a headbutt on Knight, but he doesn't have enough damage thrown on top of him, so he flashes back out. Look at Jachi. How does he ever get into this fight to deal all the damage the Corki needs to deal? Finally, he'll be able to turn some, but that's just, again, to save some of his members until On flashes back forward, and they catch Jachi again with a two-man seismic shove, flick back, PLG back to their mid-game dominating ways. And they're going to stamp off FPX's season 1 and 12 the way they're acing them home in these fights.
Well, 2 Hextech Souls, 2 wins for BLG. That sure seems to be the case, as BLG, I will say the back half of this game really liked how they played out these fights. Just played a really solid as a team. I thought the GA rush on Vin was actually quite smart for the Hextech Soul fight. Just make sure you can be as strong as possible. Didn't even need the 1 life. Easy for BLG to secure the dragons and secure the Baron, and then secure the game afterwards.
Yeah. And the Pantheon did not get things going. There were some good looks early. I thought his first Grand Starfall was nice, looking for a dive, but it's really hard to find windows to be aggressive into BLG, especially when they draft a comp like we talked about. There just was bred in winning ways from the draft, from bot side to top side. And yeah, they never looked back, so now you've got these kind of desperation heaves as JJ tries to set up a flank on Elk, but again, where's your damage, bro? There's nothing left. He barely tickles Elk and goes down just like that. Jue tries to deliver another shockwave, but it is just too little, too late, FPX. The sunset has passed. The twilight has arrived on your Rumble stage, and it's BLG, the Grim Reaper, looking to send them to play-ins with 1 measly series win in all of Group Ascend.
BLG, I know that, you know, this was an expected win. Game 1, I feel like, took a little bit longer than what it should have taken for them to win that one, but this one, I'd say right on schedule. It was a bloody game, but it was always in their favor. BLG take care of business and take down FPX. Shadow takes down his old team both times they met on the Rift.